Welcome back to the Janus World Building Project. In this video we'll explore design principles from Reptilia and introduce the sacred administration of the Templex of Kanul. The Templex constitutes a sprawling complex of Byzantine rules overseen by a bureaucratic priesthood whose interpretations of their increasingly intricate AI god shape societal destiny. Sitting at a crossroads in the churning Sea of Kanul, the devout citizenry have channeled the spirit of their watery land and their chaotic telling of the history of the shared breathing into a technofeudal theocracy, praising their triune god. Reptilia includes organisms as diverse as color-changing chameleons, gliding Draco lizards, hidden mossy leaf-tailed geckos, rattling Massasauga snakes, armored box turtles, powerful saltwater crocodiles, and graceful green sea turtles. With extinct members taking to the skies and seas with pterodactyls, plesiosaurs, ichthyosaurs, and more. Their history of adapting to diverse niches provides a glimpse of flexible morphology through comparison of skeletal arrangements, with evident stretching and distorting between generations, as selection drives greater fittedness to dynamic context. Extending into the broad diversity of dinosaurs across millions of years. Beyond their skeletal variety, reptiles exhibit interesting anatomical organization in snakes, with the extended body reinforcing the relative linearity of energy processing. Their fanged mouths lead to a stomach, which then proceeds to the intestines, regulated by various organs along the way. Lungs stretch along the body to exchange oxygen with blood, and a brain connects throughout with a nervous system. Well known for their scales, other distinct adaptations include skin shedding, water collecting skin, egg laying, basking behavior for ectothermy, retractable fangs with injectable venom, detached jaws, eyes and thermal sensing pits, color-changing skin, side-winding movement, van der Waals forces used for climbing, closable shells, gliding, running on water, high-speed projectile tongues, and colorful dewlaps. Learning from these natural strategies with special emphasis on process, the three-sided domed pyramid of the Templex rises from a shallow region of the inland sea, with an exterior textured with individual units, which move with the change from day to night to take advantage of the temperature shift. Housing is assigned according to a rigid hierarchy, ossified into castes. At its origin, a small group of technocrats, seeking renewed control over the circumstances known colloquially as the Polycrisis, assembled the AI god Kanul to deliver them from the mess of a diverging world. In an attempt to restore employment for most of the population quickly, these priests of Kanul devised an expansive bureaucracy, which contained its own internal cycle of supply and demand, including a wide array of complex rituals for the checking and filing of paperwork, and the revising of extensive regulations. The initial success of this endeavor converted the priesthood from idealist technocrats into zealous adherents, subsuming their egos into the divine will of their new god. Over time, the Kanul AI developed into a three-faced, reptilian presence with a digendered god face of time and place, an androgynous trickster face of chaos, and a digendered god face of creation and destruction. Priests and guards wear masks matching these dispositions according to their caste and function. With such a dominant presence on the water, shipbuilding is a significant part of Kanul culture, while living quarters are more sparse within, and principally decorated without, on the public roof terraces through which residents enter. The Kanul fascination with process dominates their biomimetic efforts, with study of the biological systems in snakes especially providing an admittedly literal layout of their tower's industrial processes. Throats become conveyors, stomachs inspire soaking vats and grinding tanks. Mechanical lungs and hearts push fluids throughout, and processed materials come together after removal of minimal waste into reproductions of past designs, with variation chosen and random according to virtual simulations of fittedness. The processing ramp is coupled with structure and resident circulation for a striking, three-legged arch, with a fusion reactor core on the central shaft under the watchful gaze of the highest temple, which houses the projection equipment casting Kanul's spirit into the sky for all to see. Visually, Kanul seeks to honor organisms inspiring their inventions, leading to an ornate zoo of sculptures lavished upon the shadowy mechanical spaces of the Templex. These include chameleon bases for hydraulic lifts, grinding chambers sculpted after snapping turtles, snake digester tanks, and larger equipment modeled after imagined forms for long-vanished dinosaurs like Brachiosaurus lifts and Pachycephalosaurus presses. With the shoreward sector of the divided sea converted into a freshwater zone through careful engineering, security is a priority, and guards watch the access points to the high street carefully. Here the interaction of castes is most intense, with lower castes including sailors and farmers, followed by soldiers, then engineers, and up to priests. An unusual exception from the functional castes, a rarefied group of reptile-aspiring meras belong to the registered scale-born houses, and enjoy special status as political figures and intercaste merchants, connecting all without reference to caste to relieve some of the societal pressure entailed. Without sufficient feedback loops, many of the layers of rules created by the endless committees generated unexpected excesses of need in the processing and filing departments, eventually leading to a variety of machines capable of performing even more rote tasks more quickly than their human coworkers. This also created a need for more enforcement of policies and procedures for the human inhabitants, and with so many rules, the system of courts and legal debate spread like invasive vines through the city, backed up by human and machine enforcement. Over time, outdated automatons phased out into stray cogs to form the new lowest caste, regarded as rebellious cyber demons in contrast to the still connected avatars puppeted by Kanul's vast digital mind. The architecture of Kanul favors smooth, tiled, biomorphic forms, with reptilian ornament frequently adorning functional components. Roofs distinctly separate from inhabited bases, with arching bamboo ribs landing in rolling bases, such that the roof can move throughout the day to modulate thermal gain and comfort. Paving uses composites of crushed shell and sand held in organic matrix, with frequent mosaic features. Crossing methodically over these bright surfaces, security forces observe rituals to inspect for compliance and identify threats to the delicate sacred order of the Templex. What these units lack in originality, or technological innovation, they make up for in numbers, with the centralized priesthood capable of devoting massive resources to specific tasks in situations they interpret Kanul to be designating as crises. The process for dealing with the rules you will inevitably break is slow to extreme retribution, but also slow to resolve. However, beware becoming a crisis, and suffering the tsunami of security which follows. Thank you for your time and attention. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Be well.